Hey, stop being so fucking lazy. All you do is eat and, snort lines.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Game On. I'm Gabby DeGret, and today we are going to be combining two of my favorite things, Pokemon and basketball. Right now I've got a horrible slideshow that I'm going to present to you guys on what I think would make the best 5v5 basketball starting lineup with Pokemon. Alright, let's go. So the criteria here is they must be 7'9" or under. This is credited to Olivier Roux from IMG Academy. I think he's going to go play at Florida now. But he's 7'9", so 7'9" or under. They must be 400 pounds or less, and credit that to Shaq, who played at 400 pounds. No flying. The Pokemon that can hover can be used, but they're assumed to not hover if they have legs, or hover and jump at an appropriate height if they don't have legs. So nothing completely overpowered. These guys aren't going to be just flying around the whole map. Not map, court. They must be capable of playing basketball. Alright, so they need to be humanoid and have hands that can catch a ball with something finger-like on them. They can't have any hooves. There can be no Megas or Dynamaxes and no alternate forms. We're going to keep this to simply the base form of all of the Pokemon. We're looking at physical traits here, not Pokemon typings. So no psychic powers to just put the ball in the hoop. No water powers to just shoot the ball across the court for a pass, none of that. We're looking at a general gist of the Pokemon 2, who you think would just be a certified baller. Abilities are in play with reason, and we'll get into that in a little bit with Truant and Speed Boost. And we want to make a team that would be sort of realistic. So we're not going with all 7-footers, and everyone must fill a role. So stats here, I just went with the general gist here. This was off the top of my head. HP was really hard to fill, because that doesn't really directly translate to anything besides maybe injuries and like playing career. And I didn't want to do that. So I just said that HP is basketball IQ, mentality, passing, and assists. We're going to go with attack being interior offense, being dunks, layups, and post moves. Defense being interior defense, blocks, and screen setting. Special attack will be exterior offense, 3-point shooting, and dribbling. Special defense will be exterior defense with steals and screen breaking. And then speed will be quickness, hustle, and stamina. I feel like that one was pretty self-explanatory. At point guard, we are going with Zarude. Zarude stands at 5'11" and 154 pounds. The issue here mainly is the height. Not many players under 6 feet tall succeed in the NBA at a high level. However, if you look at Zarude's stats, he can do it all, okay? 105 HP, defense and speed. He's fast. He can still guard the paint despite his height. And he's a good court general, good at passing. He can do it all. Plus, he can even score inside despite his height. I think the best comp here for him is Rajon Rondo. And the reason why I went with Rajon Rondo is because Rajon Rondo is one of the best just court generals of all time, leading the 08 Celtics and the bubble Lakers to championships. All right. He is just an amazing facilitator. He's always been a great passer. He led the league in assists 3 years, and he was on several all-NBA defensive teams. and I feel like that's an appropriate fit for Zarude. If you're looking purely offensive and like size-wise comp, Isaiah Thomas would have been a good pick here, but Isaiah Thomas wasn't as good on defense, and he wasn't as good of a passer. So I think play style-wise, Rajon Rondo's the better comp here, even though he's about 2 inches taller and 30 pounds heavier. For our shooting guard, we are going with Inteleon. All right, 6'3", 99 pounds, and the sniper ability. Okay, this is a certified bucket getter, 125 special attack and 120 speed. Inteleon's gonna go run up and down the court, and he's not gonna do jack shit on defense, but that's okay because he's shooting the lights out every single night. This is a big issue in him being super small. He's going to get shoved around, and he's league average at best at everything besides shooting and speed, which is a little bit of a bummer. However, we need some shooting on this team, and we need it bad. All right. And the comp here is Kyle Korver. I think this is a pretty easy pick. Steph Curry's too good at everything else. Klay Thompson's too good at defense. Kyle Korver, not really good at much else, but one of the best shooters of all time. Shot above 50% from 3 for one season. Shot almost 50% on 6 attempts per game in the 14-15 season. The only person to ever make an all-star team by just shooting threes. Hello? Okay. This is an amazing comp here because they are the exact same person. Physically a little bit different. However, Kyle Korver primarily played shooting guard, even though he was 6'7", mainly just a shooting guard, never really handled the ball. He's just out there. You pass to him, he's a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. That's exactly what Inteleon's doing. At small forward, we're going with Mewtwo, 6'7", almost 270 pounds. The pressure ability, the unnerve ability. If you look at his stats, his lowest stats is 90 in both of the defenses, okay? So just an above average defender. Not the best defender, but an above average defender. And then just smart as can be. Amazing offensively, both ways, and is insanely fast. Mewtwo can do it all, alright? He can do it all. There's nothing he can't do. This is LeBron James. Obviously, the issue with the comp here is that LeBron James isn't as good of a 3-point shooter as Mewtwo would be, but that's okay. LeBron's a better post scorer than Mewtwo would be. I think this is the correct choice here, just because the only other person I could think of would be Larry Bird. That maybe fits this comp a little bit better, but Larry Bird's not the best to ever do it. LeBron James is. Michael Jordan can suck my dick. LeBron is the best to ever do it, and Mewtwo's the best to ever do it, Pokemon wise. At power forward, we're going with Dusknoir, 7'3", 235 pounds. He's got the pressure ability. He's got the frisk ability. All right, so he's getting all up in your business. He's gonna touch you all up and down in a regular fashion. He's a defensive savant. Plays good interior offense with that 100 attack. However, he's not slow, and he's not a good passer. He's not smart. My comp here is Tim Duncan. The big issue with this is that Tim Duncan was an alright passer for big men in his playing time, and he was a really smart player. He wasn't fast, I know that, but he was a smart player. So the HP stat doesn't really align here, but everything else is pretty spot on. Not a 3-point shooter, only scoring interiorly. He has the most all-NBA defensive teams of all time. He has 15 of them. You can see Dusknoir's 135 pressure and frisk. He's getting all up in your business, all right? I think defensively, This is a perfect match. At center, we're going small ball here. 6'7", 287-pound tank. Slacking. Alright. Now I know the first thing that comes to mind is truant. This is where the abilities come into play. It is unreasonable to assume that slacking would just not play every other play, okay? We're gonna say maybe he's lazy, okay? He's just a lazy dude. He doesn't really hustle. There's not a real love for the game. He just happens to be amazing at it, okay? This is what we're implying the truant ability to be, because we're not just gonna sit here and say that slacking's gonna stand on the offensive side of the court the entire time and just wait for the ball to be passed to him. That's unreasonable. So pros, top tier at offense, 150 HP, 160 attack, 95 special attack, and 100 speed. He's not super slow. He can shoot threes alright. He can guard interiorly alright. One of the best interior post offense options of all time, and one of the smartest players to ever play the game. And at that, he's a center too, okay? So the cons, obviously, we know the truant ability, no real heart. He's a small ball center. He's lazy. The comp here is Nikola Jokic, okay? And I understand that Slacking's 4 inches shorter than him, and size-wise, Slacking's probably comped at power forward or small forward. And if you want to go just size-wise, his best comparison would be we're looking at like a Charles Barkley type of player. We're looking at like a Zion Williamson type of player, just a small tank. But mentally and his play style of the game, we're going with Nikola Jokic. No knock on Jokic. Obviously, he likes basketball enough to play it. He's making millions of dollars doing it. He's one of the best to ever play basketball. Probably a top 20 player at this point of all time to ever touch a basketball. He's got 3 MVPs. How many players have 3 MVPs? Case in point. However, we all know that once the season's over, all he wants to do is he wants to go back home. He wants to go to Serbia. He wants to watch his horses race. He has other priorities outside of basketball. And so does Slacking. Basketball is not the center of their life. They do other things. Their heart's not completely in the game like some of these guys. Nikola Jokic is also not super fast. He's a little clumsy, but he always makes it work. I see Slacking fitting this perfectly. Pokemon that were considered but were rejected. So Dragonite, I really wanted Dragonite on this team. He's like 6'11", amazing attack stat, like pretty good special attack. I think he's pretty fast. Dragonite's too heavy. Necrozma obviously would have been great. Sniper, too tall. Tyranitar's too heavy. Feraligatr, I considered this for a little bit, but if you look at Feraligator's stats, he's okay at everything, but he has no real defined role. He would run out on the court, take up the power forward position, and do what? He'd do a little bit of everything. Maybe have like 6, 6, and 6 a game, but I don't want Ben Simmons on my roster, okay? I would rather have other specialized players on my team. Rillaboom just simply didn't have enough defense. Passimian's special stats are insanely low. Okay. Literally, if this was the 80s, this would have been amazing. But Passimian doesn't fit modern basketball. And Blaziken is not fast enough. And now you're probably thinking, oh, Gabi, what about the speed boost ability? Okay, it is unreasonable to assume that Blaziken would get faster throughout the game. Nobody does that. Everyone wears down. everyone's going to get slower. The game slows down. All right. Blaziken is not going to passively get faster as the game continues. He will slow down. I'm not saying speed boost maybe just makes him slow down slower. Like he's keeping up his pace with the other players. Maybe he's a little bit faster than them at the end game, but he's not. This speed boost ability just isn't reasonable enough to cover up for everything else that he lacks. So the team here, I gotta credit myself. This is an amazing lineup. This team has great synergy and they're very unselfish. Most of these have pretty high HPs. These guys are gonna pass the ball around. This is gonna be 2014 Spurs, just passing the ball around, finding the open man. The big thing is that this team is not amazing at shooting. Intellion's a sniper. Mewtwo's pretty good at shooting. Mewtwo's a really good shooter. Slacking can shoot from the outside, but Zarude and Dusknoir have to drive in. Slacking's better at driving in. It leaves Mewtwo and Inteleon to really be the only two big threats on the perimeter. And in today's NBA, you have to have 3 or 4 guys in your starting lineup who can make a fucking 3 if you want to be considered like just an unstoppable team. All right. So this team is great. Obviously, you look at their pro comparisons. All of these guys were actually in the league together at one point. I think it was the 14-15 season or the 15-16 season. I don't know. It was Jokic's rookie year, Duncan's last year or something. I think it's kind of funny that they all played in the league at the same time. But look at their player comparisons. This is a pretty good team. I think this team of Pokemon goes 76-6. Alright, this isn't an 82-0 team. I recognize the shooting hole. Okay? I recognize the shooting hole and that Mewtwo and Slacking are the secondary and tertiary ball handlers instead of Inteleon, which kind of breaks the norm. I say this team drops a couple games on poor shooting nights, and they maybe lose one game due to just maybe there's one team that's just on par with this team. I could see that being realistic. I think I did a pretty good job. If you guys had any sort of recommendations on how to improve this team, or if you think I made a mistake in some of these manners, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll try and respond to all of these and give you a real answer back. I know usually in the comments I'm out here acting like a fucking idiot, and I'm just kind of clowning on you guys. But I'm going to try and take these comments seriously, if you guys take them seriously, and give me some general constructive criticism on this team. I would like to formulate the best Pokemon basketball team of all time, and I would like you guys' help. I believe I might have made it already, but feel free to let me know. Thank you for staying tuned into this video. Gaming Inc. Game on.
Drop 2 runs of the drink in my cup, get to seeing stars. Fuck it if that bitch ain't cute, scrap it. I like foreign cars. I like foreign women too, they don't just want me for my blues. Sticking to the plan like I came equipped with super glue.
Сожалею ебанатым, кто ничего не понял. Выкупается вампирский наш слайгом форен. Но я вижу только одну, это жажду крови. Уважаю только своих и никого кроме. Да, я двигаю на запад, а не дрочу тикток звук. Ты хочешь свои липсинки, у тебя нету таких сук. У тебя нету таких сумм. Где ты взял без столько свага? Там, где твоя, блядь, ебут. Я забыл, но не так, как сука. Я в ней, я хожу туда без стука. Я танцую, проживаю только в муках. Называешь меня Куга, ты, кажись, блядь, перепутал.